So here we are. Now I want to, of course, clean this chart in totality. We start all over again. Same with the Usdjpy basket. I may try to look at Euro USD too. This guy here, very important guy. And I want us to go to the monthly chart. We can even start with the 3 months chart very fast. Now there's something here. There's something very important. Now, as far as we are concerned, yes, price did go up high and run these highs here, but it closed below. Yeah, it actually closed below this area. And you can see this kind of opening and retesting there and then dropping. This is the 3 month chart. Yeah, remember it has not yet closed. This is the 3 month chart. So it may easily, if we are bullish, it should have rejected from this point, okay? Around this area, but it's not even the half of this swing. So there's a chance price will drop lower, and this is where the monthly chart comes in. It will tell you how far precisely can price go down. We have this imbalance here from this point to this point, and price may want to react from at least the midpoint, or rather what we call the consequent encroachment of the whole imbalance at first. We're not saying that it will feel that in totality, at least for the first month. You see that? So the midpoint has already been tapped. And I've seen multiple times where price reacts from this point. Now, the engulfing will definitely happen. Okay? The engulfing from this point will definitely happen. And it may mean that next month may want to drive lower. Yeah, I mean, next month may want to drive lower. But if next month wants to drive lower, what we are saying is chances are it will start by buying, rebalance here, and then continue dropping. Yeah, but we'll have a candle like this one. That way. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is I would expect some sort of rejection from here, but I'm okay with the price closing below. So how far will price go up? I'm giving it this point. I'm working with this candle here in totality. And I want to assume, or rather I'm assuming that already we've created the month's low. And I'm arguing that next month's candle will open and try to rebalance here before continuing lower, which can easily happen during NFP, yeah? During NFP, Friday by Friday. It's very much possible for this to happen. So what am I looking at? I'm looking at some sort of retracement from here because we've had a push from this point all the way to this point. So I'm trying to argue that price will retrace to this point, at least for next week, yeah? And then we can try to look for sales using this engulfing candle here, yeah? Because that is obviously going to happen. The engulfing is already there, yeah? And we've clearly rejected from a premium zone. Very nice entry area. I don't mind the fact that price actually did run these highs and still closed below, okay? And still closed below. So as much as we are going to have some sales and drop, I would expect some sort of retracement here. So when I go to the weekly time frame, you have this area here. Right there. And clearly from here, there are very few swings remaining. You have these lows, they haven't been tested yet, right? And you have this point from here all the way to here. Now, you also had this candle here, or rather this imbalance, of which we can see price has actually closed below that, yeah? Price has actually closed below that. It didn't retest this zone properly, but where it closed, it's very fine with me. It's very fine with me. I wanted to see price try to tap in there, and then maybe we can get some rejection. Now, the daily time frame will give us more clues in what we are looking for here. We already have a clean shift, yeah? A clean shift in structure right there. So now what we would want to see is some sort of retracement, a break and retest kind of thing. It can go all the way to premium, but ideally you want to see sales continuation. Yeah. something like that. So 1 minute. Beautiful man. I mean, beautiful woman there. Ah, yeah. So what I'm saying is I'm interested in seeing price to run this highs here. Okay. And there's still a chance the price can easily run this high. But we will see the price action there. Okay. We will see the price action there. You're looking for some sort of retracement. From the monthly, it has clearly shown us where it wants to get to, at least to this point here. Rebalance here, and then maybe we can start looking for sales there. So now we can go to the daily time frame, knowing exactly what we are looking for. Yeah. So what we are having is this swing. See this swing from here to here. That's what we're having. And some people may argue, so how do we get an entry? We are only interested in this candle. I don't want to see price dropping below this candle. I don't want to see that. I want to see price closing above it. And then I have the open of that candle right there. So if Monday, scratch this, if Monday does close above there, I'm going to look for buys. That is all I want to see. If price, or rather, if Monday closes above this candle, pushes up from this point all the way to this point, gives me that buy, I'm starting to look for buys and expecting price to run these highs. These, for those who are not, this is liquidity. Okay, this for me is a lot of buy side here. And if any smart money entity wants to actually sell this market, I don't think they would sell in these areas. Chances are they will try to get to this point here, yeah, where we still have this gap here, and we have this inverted, or rather what we call IFVG, yeah, right there. I feel like that will be so effective, yeah, so effective. And then I want to align this with the OTE. Yeah, very nice. So I'm having that, and price may want to spike there. So for now, we can easily have specific draws. If price closes above this candle, we are looking for buys and we are targeting this high here. We are targeting that high. That's what we are targeting. Simply put, yeah, we are going to look for buys. But again, we have a specific threshold for us to determine that. Yeah, this is the 4 hours chart. This is the last chart we are going to look at. Now, if you look at this chart here, we have this clean lows. That's why I can't just buy. I want to see a clean structure shift. Yeah, a clean structure shift on the 4 hours though. On the 4 hours. So yeah, this market either drives up. You can see we are having a consolidation here. We've run below this point and then we are running up. So I want to see something like this happen. Okay, push up, retest, and then I'll take the buys. Yeah, that's my theory. And I would expect price to try and run these highs, at least up to this, and then get to this imbalance, or rather this candle here. When it runs this high, I'm good to go. I will start looking for sales from that point. Yeah. Or rather, at least that's where I want to see price get to. I don't care if it buys from there or whatever. We will determine that when price gets there, because we are still bearish. Yeah, it's just that I think now that price has dropped in this manner, everyone is trying to chase for a sell, or rather, they're looking for sales, and that's why me, I want to look for sales. I prefer looking for buys here and try to run these highs. These highs, they're actually going to be our first TP, second TP, third, fourth, fifth, all the way every day. Monday, or rather, if Monday gives us this setup, we take it on the 4 hours. We target this one up to Tuesday, Wednesday, this Thursday, this, or rather up to here, and then Friday, NFP gives us this. Because one thing I know for sure, you see this whole swing from this zone to this point here. from this high. These areas here, this point. Those highs are going to be run, and that will be our first target. And we can easily call a week. I mean, we can easily have our week at that point. Yeah. When we hit this target, we just trail to break even all the trades we have here and take partials, and then we can wait for an FP and see wherever it takes us. Yeah. So that's the plan I have for this week. And this is JPY bucket. This is JPY basket. It means if price actually sells, I'm not interested and I'm only looking for buys. Price can easily drop. There's nothing preventing it from running this low and still buying, yeah? But I would look for the same idea. I want to see buying happening. I'm not comfortable trying to sell it at this area. This swing is very, very much crazy to me. And I know everyone is trying to sell there. That's why I can't sell. You know, with this drop here, drops, someone may easily expect price to drop here. And that's why me, I want to avoid. I want to avoid that. I prefer looking for sales, but then I need confirmations. So either price drop pushes above here and then gets here. I'll take the sales. I mean the buys and expect price to continue higher with my first TP being this highs. Yeah. Then I can expect price to try and run this high during NFP. So that is what I have for JPY index. JPY index. This gives you the ideas I want to work with when it comes to USDJPY. Yeah? When it comes to USDJPY. Let me remove this and then I'll send this to the group. Long position here. These kind of moves are normally fast, yeah? They are normally fast. It can be candle like these ones because it's a reactive. We are not, we are on a downtrend. So what we are going to see is more of a run on these highs before price continues selling, yeah? We're not against the trend really. Rather, price may not give us a clean tag if we don't take this sell, I mean this buy right here. We buy there and hold. Trade to break even, and before that day, we at least take partials on these areas and then expect price to push up. Yeah. But like I've told you, I have to see price push up here first and then retest. I'm not taking the buys if price tries to drop here. Even if it does that, I want to see a rejection. I want to see a rejection. So that kind of thing. And even if it happens the same thing here, I'll try to look for the same buys. Yeah. But for now, with what we have on the chart, this is what my forecast is. Any question? I think everyone is not on mute. Any question?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So that means you are going to be selling the USDJPY up to NFP.
Yeah. That's what and that's where we are heading now. I'm going to hold these sales all the way to NFP. I'm really doing that. That's what I'm. This time I'm that NFP because last month I've been holding some buys. Last month's NFP, I've been holding the buys. This NFP around this area, I held the buys up to this point, and then I closed when Wednesday. Before Wednesday, I closed the buys. Wednesday, actually, it was Tuesday at night. I closed the buys, and then Wednesday just pushed up.
Yeah.
I've never felt so bad, man. Because that I would have last week would have been so good to me. So it is what it is. But now what I'm trying to tell you, now that price pushed up like this, every retailer is trying to buy. They're looking for buys, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's see. I think if we can check the data, or rather from the price, they would ideally all of them be looking for buying opportunities. But then me, I want to look for sales. Yeah? I want to look for sales.
Okay.
So let's now look at the monthly chart, and then I'll show you what I'm looking at. Yeah.
Okay.
So when we get an engulfing, most of the time, and of course we've tapped in this imbalance here, we've already tapped in, and it has reacted from the mean threshold of that, or rather the consequent encroachment of that. Now, the drop can easily drop all the way to this point. That is like very specific. We could get a retracement all the way to here. If NFP comes out negative, we could have that. Yeah, but still, that doesn't mean that we are looking for sales. I mean, we are looking for sales the whole month. We're looking for buys, yeah? But this is what I have for USDJPY. Why? Price drops all the way to this point. Now I go to the weekly time frame, and what am I looking at? It means the first 2 weeks of the week can give us a sell. The first week we drop all the way to this point. The second week we drop all the way to this point. Yeah. So next week we are trying to say that it should drop, give us a bearish engulfing. Next week, but one opens, drops to this point, creates the low of demand, and then we start buying from there and expect price to continue pushing up. That week opens, gives us the engulfing. Fourth week opens here, retest this, pushes up. December opens and starts running up, yeah, all the way to this point. And that will close the year around this area. Simply put, we'll have a near that's been arranged. Yeah. Because if you don't get it, this was last year's low, yeah. See, this is 18th deck. This is last year's low. And then January can open and easily run these highs before we try to look either for sales. But this depends on the elections of the US, yeah. If Trump wins, we're going to have a crazy bullish run here. So if we get a nice buy here, we can now hold for long. Which can give us a push like this. But for now, we have this week. This is the week we are specific with what we are expecting price to give us, right? So let's talk about that week and what we want to see. Now, this week you're seeing here, I'm trying to say I don't expect much retracement, yeah? Or rather, any much push-up move on Monday. That's why it's very nice if we get a sell tomorrow, and God willing, it doesn't mess us up. Yeah, God willing, this doesn't mess us up. Let me have this. You see this bullish candle here? That one is enough to give us a sell. And then, of course, we have the imbalance, yeah? And I have this specific entry area, clean zone, yeah? Right there. So now, when I remove this, what I'm trying to say is I want to see next week try to run to this point. That would be my target for this week. So when I take these sales here, see this area? I would have a short position. Short position with a stop loss on this high. And my TPs, the first ones will be there. But then I'll hold through NFP. If we do get here, if we do get here before NFP, I'll close and look for entries before NFP. Yeah, I'll close and wait for more entries before NFP because I feel like NFP will drop. Assuming Monday and Tuesday just opens and drops here. I mean, Wednesday did get us here, so there's nothing preventing the same thing from happening here. So if it does happen that way, I'll still try to get the same setup here and look for more sales. Yeah. But then I'm also good at trading after the news. The moment that spike happens, I can get a nice trade at this point. The same way you're seeing here, I can get a very nice run all the way to this high. I've been doing this for a very long time. Every time after the news are released, I get very nice setups which are fast. So what am I looking for here? I only need to see that bullish candle being engulfed, and then I take that trade very fast. Yeah, very fast. A bearish engulfing. That's what I'm looking for there. That's all I'm looking for. And then next week we look for more sales. That means with someone who wants to hold through up to next week, but one, it's possible. It's very much possible. And during this time, we are going to have the 2 weeks mastery course already ongoing. So that means the ones who will be there, you'll see me trading this, yeah? Because the ones who are in that course, we normally analyze every day with them because they're in class and it's at night. So before the next day, we do analyze with them, yeah? So overall, I would expect price to drop up to here for the next 2 weeks. As it is, just something else. Simple. And again, I'll repeat, I need to see a 4 hours engulfing. Yeah, I'm not taking the sell if that doesn't happen. More like something like this, yeah? You see this candle, this entry method here? This is my signature entry method. Engulf, retest. I'm taking that entry. Engulf, retest. Until price closes below this candle. Like I want to see a bullish candle, then price engulfs it. The next one opens, runs up, retest that zone. I'm taking the sell right there. This candle opening and running up there, that's when I'll take the sell and then I'll hold it through all the way to NFP. That's the signature entry method we are looking for here. If that does not happen, we are not going to take any, or rather, let me say me, I'm not going to take the sales, okay? I'm not going to take the sales. I feel like the Monday can be very slow. It can easily just get us here. And this can easily, price can run this high and we can get the same setup. We run the high, have that bullish candle. If price engulfs it, once again, I'll still take the sell, yeah? But I have to see the engulfing first. It has to happen for me to take that sell. What if price just drops, yeah? I don't mind doing the same, but then I'll do that on Tuesday, okay? If price just turns from here, I'll look for the sells on Tuesday, probably around this area with a stop loss on this high. That way, but we are looking for sells. And this is my best zone to look for that sell, right there. And I hold it through NFP, yeah? All these you're seeing here is liquidity. Trend line, these lows. You know, there are some people who are still holding buys, and ideally they are right because I think price is bullish, and they're also probably betting that Trump will win, which I'm also doing. But before that, they need to be removed from this market. Yeah, need to be removed from the market before price continues higher. And of course, we have this whole swing from this point all the way to that high. And I'm assuming that price won't run that high in this case, or rather, even if it does that, it won't close above. You can see that area, very specific area, and this imbalance. So price may want to fill that and of course retest these highs. That is why we are doing what we are doing. And we have a clean structure shift already. Yeah, we've had a run on this and closed above. Now it's time to retrace down here and look for that clean buy. Yeah, clean buy. For those who do trend lines, if you draw a trend line here, clearly you'll have a that touch on this area. So that is what we have for USD JPYs for our time frame. And I've told you the signature entry method you're using. You're not just taking the buy, I mean the sell. It has to do exactly what we want for us to look for that sell. And that is the weekly forecast. Any question? For Euro USD, we have this. I've not even changed shade. This is something we were talking about with my student yesterday. Very precise. I don't want to see much selling from here. It should actually just reject to the downside. But if it does sell, I don't mind. Anyways, I'm preferring buys. So I want to see the same again, entry method. That's what I want to see. And then I can consider buying Euro USD. At least to this point, yeah. We've had a shift here, but it's time to retest these areas and run everyone who was trying to sell on these areas, these ones, it's time to run them out, yeah? Time to run them out in a very slow but steady manner. But this one will be fast, yeah? This one is gonna be fast, more like this kind of move. If you try to sell here, it will be very bad for you, man. So these buys when you get them, and you can even wait for another entry like this one here. You can wait for price to run this high, and then you can look for buys there with a stop loss around this low or this low, yeah? Euro USD doesn't have many pips. So if you take a buy here and you have maybe a 50 pip stop loss, you target 100 pips, you're done. Then you hold through the week. And if NFP does come out positive, it's gonna be crazy, man. There's a chance you could get a push like this one here. Yeah, which runs all the way from this point. Yeah. Depending on where it gets us, by Friday, if we are around here, then NFP can easily run to these highs. NFP target, yeah, can easily run up to that point. So that's what we have for the week. Everyone is not on mute, so I would expect that